I just didn't feel the need to learn any scales. I mean, why would I ever need anything other than open chords and a few riffs? So just here? Hi, my name's Matt Finch, and I have regrets. Regrets that have hindered my guitar development. Sorry, I can't keep up the fake documentary. So in this video, I'm going to share some of the things that I regret not doing when I was learning guitar. So hopefully in 30 years' time, you won't have to. Yeah, 30 years playing guitar. It's actually pretty scary. Not so much scary how old that makes me. 37. I started young. More scary how average a guitar player I am after 30 years of playing. In my defense, I'm a multi-instrumentalist, songwriter and producer. A jack of all trades, if you will. Just not a master of guitar. Maybe I will keep up the fake documentary. I'm not sure how it would work. We'll have to see. So first on the list is to learn some theory or take some lessons. Now you absolutely can teach yourself, and this isn't the part of the video where I try and sell you one of my guitar courses. Believe me, I would if I could, I just haven't made any yet. But in my growing years of maturity, I've come to realise that taking knowledge from more experienced people is a far more efficient way of getting good at something rather than just trying to teach yourself. So when I started playing guitar more seriously, and actually I said I've been playing for 30 years, I did start when I was 7, but I didn't really do anything on guitar other than learn a few chords until I was around 17. And when I was 17, I was the guitarist and lead singer in a band who were obviously going to be wildly successful international rock stars. And as the rhythm guitarist and lead singer, I wasn't really into shred music. I listened to a lot of Oasis, Green Day, Feeder, The Foos. So in my world, I never really felt the need to learn scales or really know what I was doing. I mean, why would I ever need anything other than open chords and a few riffs? But time, old father time, has taught me that regardless of how much I really would like to be able to shred, more importantly, knowing some theory, knowing your way around a fretboard, and understanding how different scales can interchange with one another, it's like having a larger toolkit. It's like being more prepared and having the experience to know which tool to dig out depending on the job. So number 2 is to learn the classics. So I joined a band pretty much as soon as I started playing seriously. And we started writing and performing our own songs straight away because, well, we were going to be famous and you don't get a record deal playing covers. Although I suppose some people do. Elvis, the Beatles, Michael Bublé. Anyway. Now, although this did have some benefits to my creativity, so it's like a muscle, the more you create, the better at it you get, I kind of missed out on learning some of the staples of guitar history, and as a byproduct, some of the guitar techniques of guitar history. As a young guitarist in my formative years, I never really learned any Hendrix or Clapton or AC/DC or Led Zeppelin or insert any influential guitarist here. We just played our own stuff, aside from the odd cover thrown in for good measure. We got pretty good and people liked our music. Thanks, Mum. But I, for one, missed out on a good chunk of guitar development by not learning the classics. But this also goes for those of you that do learn the classics, but you learn the solos or the intro riffs, the party tricks. Yes, they're impressive, and it's often the riffs or the solos that get us into playing guitar in the first place, but you too are missing out if you're not learning the entire song, both rhythm and lead. And most people, when they hand you a guitar and ask you to play something, are only momentarily impressed by watching you shred. Other than that, it means very little to them to see how fast you can tap. They just want to sing along to something. So learn some classics, educate yourself, and keep the crowd smiling. So this next point really follows on from the last one, or rather preludes the last one, and that is to simply listen to a broader range of music, including the classics. As already mentioned, my taste in music growing up, and don't judge me, we're all friends here, safe space, was popular rock music. Oasis, Green Day, Foo Fighters, Linkin Park, Blink-182. And as such, I never really felt much need or desire to listen to anything outside of this genre. Why listen to jazz when I'm going to be a rock star? And of course, it's only later in life that you start to wish that that foundational knowledge was more broad. For instance, I really enjoy playing blues on guitar, but my knowledge of what blues music is out there is still quite narrow. I now make a point of trying to listen to a broader range of music, and it's never been easier with Spotify subscriptions and Apple Music subscriptions. I just wish I'd done it sooner. So number 4 is to figure songs out by ear. Now, in fairness to myself, I did actually used to do this quite a lot. You see, I came of age before YouTube and even widely available tabs on the internet were really a thing. So if I did want to learn a song, you either had to buy the album songbook that would give you the chords and the tabs, or the free way, figure it out by ear. But a couple of years in, and YouTube did start to become a thing, and tabs on the internet started to become widely available, and I started to become lazy. Efficient and likely more accurate, but still lazy. The problem with that is that my ears became lazy also. You see, it might be quicker and easier to just learn the tabs or watch a quick YouTube video, but I found when I do that, the lick or solo or whatever I'm learning and the byproduct technique don't seem to lodge themselves into the grooves of my mind quite so well. But when I sit down to learn something by ear, I find that I can still play it years later, like it's been etched into my memory, along with the skill and technique that learning it provided. It's also a useful skill just being able to pick things up by ear, especially when playing with other people. As a band, you can work more efficiently and creatively when not needing to stop and look things up on the internet. And sometimes tabs just suck. They're often incorrect, as any old Tom, Dick or Harry can upload them. They're a useful tool, and I'm not saying don't use tabs, but just work on your ear training and they'll let you down far less often. So regret number 5, or point number 5, is to practice and not just noodle. Now I'm a little split 50-50 on this, as part of me never liked and still don't really like practicing, as it's a little bit rigid and regimented and removes just the fun and spontaneity out of jamming. And I think I developed into a reasonable enough guitarist by just having my guitar always out, always there, and I'd pick it up and play it during an ad break or while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil. But that said, I often find myself just noodling around the same chord progressions or pentatonic scale, never really getting any better or stretching myself as a guitarist. We can quite easily become comfortable just repeating the stuff we know. So instead, what I encourage you to do, and what I'm trying to do more of now, is to build some structure into your guitar practice routine. That could mean setting goals that by the end of the year, you'll have mastered that riff or that finger-picking song. It could mean enrolling on an online guitar course that has a specific outcome or learning intention. Blues music or acoustic guitar. Either way, and whatever it means to you, it's worth thinking about how you spend your time when you pick up a guitar. If it's purely for relaxation, then a bit of mindless noodling is no harm at all. But if you're hoping to develop, then make sure you find a way of incorporating practice into your guitar playing. If people don't want to have the same regrets, I guess if people don't want to end up having the same regrets that I have, then I think the best they can do, the most effective solution, would be to subscribe to the Matthew Finch Music channel. They could hit subscribe now for more helpful guitar and songwriting videos, or like. Yeah, they could gently tap the like button, and I guess leave a comment